Hi, everybody. Welcome to the podcast for this evening. This is episode 280, and I'm joined by Geoff and Jordan. I'm Harry Carey. It's good to have you all with us today.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. What are we going to be talking about today?
Typically, we start with some news.
Well, I'm just intrigued. Maybe it's curiosity. Curious like a cat. Why don't you go ahead and give us some news there, Geoff?
Wait, you're curious like a cat?
Yeah. Could be why my friends call me Whiskers.
There it is.
Well,
I'm
that's
always
what we've
impressed
all
with you.
been waiting for.
I'm always impressed with you. Cheers to you and to Geoff.
Cheers.
Salute. Prost. And
Prost.
your glass is empty. Welcome to the Lobbycast, everyone.
Do you want to go ahead and do a...
This is the official podcast of PreGameLobby.com. This is episode 281 for the week of July 11th. We'll call it today.
We'll call it today.
We'll call it today because
Because it's
it's
today.
7-Eleven.
Today, it's actually today. So let's go with that.
All right, philosophy over there. Get out of here with that nonsense. Brick, good to have you on the show.
Jazzed to be here.
Thanks. Okay, Geoff, what kind of news do you have for us this evening?
Well, Sony announced what is, I guess, an important milestone for them. For their current gen items, that's PS3, PS4, and Vita, they have sold a combined 100 million units. So good for them.
Good for them.
Yeah, really good for them. Jordan, what's going on over there?
I was laughing at
Oh.
Sam's picture that the UPS guy attempted to hide his printer under the doormat.
Attempted.
It's a very large box, like very.
Just propped his doormat
That
up
says
on the
welcome
box.
on it now. Weird.
Yeah. This is not the printer you're looking for.
Yeah, completely conspicuous. I don't know. I think it would have been better without the doormat, but whatever.
It almost looks more stealable with the doormat.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, if it's covered up by the mat, then it's obviously a good printer. Yeah, I don't know. Some other interesting news. AMC has announced that they're going to start converting over about a third of their theaters to large lazy boy type chairs.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
They're gonna cut down on the theater's capacity by about 60%. So
And they're
there'll
gonna
be a
start
lot
charging
fewer.
more for the tickets.
$1 or $2. That's really, it's not that big of a deal. If you're going to a movie, you already know that you're going to spend a lot of money.
Not me.
Not you, because you have Movie Pass.
That's right.
That's right. So, maybe at some point, Movie Pass will go up $1 or $2, and you'll have access to the nice seats.
Well, no, because I'm assuming that all of the seats are going to be nice seats.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But that may make them not as or not compatible with your Movie Pass anymore.
Yeah, but I'll get grandfathered in.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
That would be nice. It's always nice to get grandfathered, wouldn't
It
you
is.
say?
I would say so. Whether it's clocks or Movie Pass, grandfathers is the way to go.
Yeah. So, that'll be nice. And that will drive up revenue because you'll have to go back and see movies that you fell asleep in during the first time around.
Right, because you're in such a nice,
I will-
comfortable seat.
Yeah, because I will pass the heck out right there.
Happened to me before.
Yeah. You spent the night in the movie theater.
Sure did. Sure did, Geoff.
You can tell that the employees of that one are very, very like anal retentive about cleaning their theaters if they miss an entire human who is asleep in them.
Yeah, and by anal retentive you mean open the door, oh, it looks empty, and closing it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks clean enough to me. No.
What was that? Oh, whatever. Whatever.
It's fine. And Brick, here's something that will be of interest to you. since The Killing is moving to Netflix for its final season,
Oh, is it? I didn't know.
there will be cussing.
Oh, I'm glad that appeals to me.
It does.
There's
Hey,
foul language about that. Call Brick.
wherever an F-bomb is uttered, Brick will be there.
Except for here.
Except for here.
For now.
For now. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I wouldn't have even. I don't know why it occurred to them to start changing the scripts, because at some point that discussion was had, and like, oh hey, we can drop F-bombs now.
This is totally fine. Now that we're on Netflix.
It'll be a much better show now.
All right, fire it up. Let's change the scripts.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's only one more season.
Well, it still doesn't interest me because I think that show is not that great.
I like it okay.
I know.
It's not great though. You're right.
And I'll get to that.
You'll get to that. You have things to discuss?
I have things to discuss about not great television and how it no longer has time. Or I no longer have time for it, rather.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, are you guys ready to move into the What You Watchins?
Sure.
The Weekly Whatchas even?
Brick, why don't we start with you?
What you listening to, actually?
Start with you, actually.
What you listening to?
It's a short list.
What are you listening to, Jordan? Tell us.
And if you say the two of us right now, I'm going to slap you.
Actually, I have not been listening to the two of you right now at all. I have been listening to the two of you on episode 179.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I got to listen to that. I also listened to Geoff's solo show, which
I haven't listened to it.
Honestly,
No spoilers, Jordan.
I was really okay with that.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
It wasn't terrible?
No, it was very, very well done. So I listened to it all the way through, and I'm like,
I was afraid to listen to it.
I listened to it all the way through, and I'm like, oh damn, that was really good.
How long was it?
It wasn't even half an hour.
Oh, okay.
It was just the right amount of time of listening to Geoff talk.
Nice.
I couldn't resist.
That was a long setup for that joke.
I know. So I really did.
It was a marathon run for a couple of raisins.
No, because you guys actually laughed at that. So I did listen to it, and I really did enjoy the show. I think that it was.
I'm glad. I was
really
afraid to listen to it because I know how bad it sounded to me while I was recording it.
No, and
I didn't want to.
And that's the thing. It didn't sound bad at all to me. There was no part of it where I felt like it was out of place whatsoever. So, just
had a brief discussion with Brick on the solo show.
Yeah.
What? I did.
And I listened to you guys.
I haven't listened to the show, but it was about the last ship, wasn't it?
Of course it was.
Yeah. And then I got to listen to episode 179 with you guys divulging my personal life, and Rick was like, or Joe was like, well, I wasn't going to say her name. Yeah, it was awesome. I thought that was hilarious. So, yeah, I really enjoyed listening to that. For my workout, I've been doing long runs, which are lasting around an hour now. So I have to build a music library, and that's not been fun because bad music in your run will ruin your day. You will have a bad time.
Yep.
You're gonna have a bad time.
Right. So that's been difficult, but I've kind of narrowed some down, and it's all really obscure techno. Meh.
What counts as obscure in your book?
Ramses B and Midas.
Yep, that would count. That counts.
Yeah.
On the list.
Good for you.
A lot of it is so obscure when I'm searching for it in the Xbox music. Nope.
Does not compute.
No, they don't.
Where
have
did you find it in the first place then?
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
I listen to it at work just as a shuffle. Like I just type in a genre and just hit go.
Right.
And YouTube starts playing this music, and if I like it, if I think it's got a good enough BPM for me to run to it, then I look at who the artist is, and then I go look up their music.
Oh, okay.
Just a great way for me to discover new music.
Yeah.
I read an article today complaining about Xbox Music, saying that it's really difficult for music discovery. Has that been your experience? That iTunes blows it away?
I've never used iTunes, so I wouldn't be able to compare it.
No.
But what I can do, and it's really slick. I mean, I can bring up the store in my phone and type in any kind of artist. So let's say I'll go to the Appleseed Cast. Fairly obscure band. Most people don't know who they are. That's in my collection. I listened to them before they were cool. I will go to their page on the store and just go over 2 tabs to related, and it gives me a list of related music.
That seems really easy to me.
So easy that, yeah, it just, I don't know how anybody could ever.
And when I do an artist radio and it brings up somebody else I like, I just click add to playlist.
Yeah.
And it goes into my new artist playlist.
And then you can check out that other artist later. Because it's already in your playlist.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super simple.
And then you can listen to related artists of
On
theirs.
I don't know how iTunes blows it out of the water, considering iTunes, you download a song or an album at a time.
Well, we had the hardest time last night when I was at Coda, and iTunes was running, and I was trying to create a new radio station. I don't know how to do it.
iTunes is not user friendly. My girlfriend just got a new iPod, and like I'm looking at iTunes, I'm like, how do you sort any of this out? It just doesn't. It looks cluttered. It looks gross.
And it's just not a good system. It's not viable anymore.
No.
Oh well. Anyway, I trying to get your opinion on that because
I just showed you how easy it was.
Yeah.
And then I can hit Smart DJ, and it starts doing its thing.
Now, granted, that is because you have a Windows phone too.
Mm-hmm.
My Xbox Music experience on my iPhone,
I bet it's terrible.
It is god awful.
But we have the same one, Brecken, and I.
No, we do not.
Jeff, did you get a new phone?
No.
When did you get that massive device?
I've had this one.
Oh. Okay.
For a while.
No,
so
we do not have the same.
Back to what I was listening to.
Oh, okay.
But it is not the same.
Okay. Gotcha.
I have been also listening to the Decemberists and the National. Rick, what have you been listening to?
Well, you know how the last time I was here, I was talking about I wanted to find a music store?
Yes.
I went to Second Spin, and I love that store now.
Because they sell CDs and not
the one
just vinyl?
Yes.
Colorado and 25?
Uh-huh.
I have not liked that store because the prices were so high.
I have not had that experience.
Okay, good.
And also I'm buying a lot of used albums too.
Okay.
But because of that, I have bought a few albums, and I was listening this week to Bare Naked Ladies, Oasis, Tegan and Sarah, Smashing Pumpkins, Goo Goo Dolls, and Portishead.
Nice.
Nobody should ever call me a hipster with your, like, I'm so cool with my music from 1999. I listened to it after it was cool. What?
I like 90s music.
You could also throw more Chiba into that. Do you know them?
Yes, I could.
Yes. You should rotate that in.
Well, yeah,
Bam.
but that's not all I bought. That's just all I had time to listen to.
Oh,
until
okay.
the point of the show.
I gotcha.
There's much more on that list.
There's so
that
much
we
more.
will see to come. But yeah, it was just that to me. But all those were albums, so it took me a while.
Okay.
I was listening to whole albums and not just songs.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I have been listening to some podcasts. I am completely caught up on Common Sense with Dan Carlin and Hardcore History.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I made a concerted effort.
Yeah, the was it episode 52, I think, is number 3 of the Hardcore History thing that he's in right now. Yeah, he talks about some like really tough things, and
Yeah.
it's interesting.
I love history.
Yeah, I do too. Which makes me think. I also listen to 2 How Stuff Works podcasts. Or is it Stuff You Should Know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
No, it's not for me. I was trying to find something to listen to, to fill the Dan Carlin void.
You should try Stuff You Missed in History Class.
I've listened. I used to listen to that, and I think I
probably
might go
changed hosts about 5 times.
Yeah, last time I listened to it, it was 2 very easy to listen to women.
Yeah, well, it always is.
Okay.
They're just different women.
Got it. Okay.
They change one host or the other pretty often.
Okay. I'm gonna look at that right now.
Right? Meow.
So what else have you been listening to, Geoff? Now that I've been.
I was listening to a CD that I got last Friday for, I think it was Friday. I don't know when it was. I got a CD for signing up to be a bone marrow donor.
Okay.
And it's live recordings from Red Rocks.
We sold one of those at Starbucks once.
It's probably the same one.
It's usually pretty good.
Yeah, it's a decent one. So, and I don't know if this goes into watching or listening, but I got a kick out of listening to Jimmy Fallon cover "Fancy" as Neil Young.
I watched that
with Crosby, Stills, and Nash singing backup. That was pretty good. That was pretty great. I enjoyed that. That's all I've been listening to this week. Not much music, just that standard nonsense that's in my car.
Okay.
About that.
Cool beans.
Getting into what you're watching?
Sure.
I think I'm ready.
Jordan.
I've had a good time getting caught up on The Wire.
What?
Yeah.
Did you pick up on your rewatch, or was that your initial watch?
This is my initial watch.
Oh, okay.
I've never because
that was
I've watched
a couple years ago, wasn't it? That we
yeah,
were watching
and then I lost access to Brick's HBO Go. Well, Amazon Prime now has The Wire on their streaming.
Oh, that's right, because they picked up a lot of HBO shows.
Yeah, so I think that happened June 1st, and I was waiting for that. I'm a little more than halfway, or right at halfway through season 4. I don't get to watch a lot of TV, like maybe an hour or 2 a week.
Okay.
I might get to watch 1 show a week.
Okay.
That's it. Like, that is the extent of my TV time. So
it'll take you a while.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that. I picked up in season 4 where I left off. Season 4 is very not McNulty. Like, it's all about everybody else, and McNulty's just doing the family life. And I'm like, man, I really, really, really like the show. It's a really good show, and I'm invested in all the characters.
Like Snoop.
Yeah, like everybody. I mean,
Snoop and Omar.
Yeah, Omar and.
I really like Snoop.
Yeah, and the fact that she just basically they're like, hey, do you want to consult for us real quick and tell us how this really is? What? Why don't you just stand in front of this camera for just a second? Okay, do that again. I mean, she's basically playing herself, and it's intense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been really enjoying that, and I also watched something else, and I'm trying to think about what it is, and I'm drawing a blank. So, I've watched some Wire.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. DeBrickershaw, what have you been watching? Other than everything.
Slightly more than an hour or 2 a week. I started watching Tyrant.
And?
It's decent.
Okay.
I think it's pretty great.
It's pretty good. I like it for now.
Yeah. How many episodes in are you?
I haven't seen the latest one, but that's it. So not this.
Oh, okay. So you've seen more of it than I have.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Okay.
We watched a lot of the World Cup.
Oh wait, maybe
not.
I've seen 3 episodes. I may be up to date.
Okay, yeah, I think you are. 'Cause
Okay.
I think I've only seen 2.
All right.
We're watching a lot of the World Cup. It's been pretty interesting, especially Germany's demolishment of Brazil.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day, and I was trying to explain to someone how they will never see that again.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was watching it with a couple friends, and we were just like, this is never gonna happen again. I mean, like,
No,
this is a semifinal in the World Cup.
Yeah.
The host country is getting blown out. I mean,
okay, the Super Bowl was pretty close to that.
It was.
It was, but it's.
But-
I don't think it's the
But
same extent.
Seattle would have to have scored like over 100 points
Yeah, I mean, it was that bad, especially because
for it to be perfectly accurate.
Germany scored 5 goals in the first half, and held Brazil to nothing.
Well,
Brazil
and
scored
all
1 goal the whole game.
all someone needs to do to see how rare that is look at the other scores for the World Cup. 0-1.
What did the U.S.
0-0
do with Germany? We
Lost
lost
1-0.
1-0. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, 1-0. Brazil, host country. Almost every fan in that stadium is a Brazilian fan, and they get blown out 7-1.
You know what Brazil needed that day? Is the U.S. goalie.
Yeah. Tim Howard could have done great things for them.
What are you doing with your phone?
We're watching Germany. A little quick highlight of Germany playing Brazil.
Oh wow.
So 11 minute.
And
Boink.
yeah.
So this is what it's really like. Basically, there are no Brazilian players on the field.
No, there isn't. That explains a lot now. It was
Well,
all
and
fabrication
that's-
from FIFA that the Brazilians were actually on the field.
You know, and that's what happened to the United States. You know, the who was it that we lost to?
Belgium.
Belgium.
The one that
Belgium
was
had
convinced we were going to
possession
beat.
of the ball
I had it.
for
We
like
lost
60-70% of the game.
Yeah,
They were
they were all over it.
the cameras only had to be pointed at our goal because that's where the ball was.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had every reason to believe that
Mhm.
we could beat Belgium.
Right.
We beat Ghana,
I
tied
did.
Portugal, and only lost by 1 goal
Yeah.
to Germany. I mean, I had every reason to believe that we could beat Belgium.
I've been an American soccer fan for too long to believe that we were going to go any further than that.
Oh no, I said from the time it was there, I said we were gonna
Also,
we're gonna lose.
I
to
feel bad.
Belgium.
I kept referring to our goalie as Common because I got to know his.
He looks
Seriously?
like Common.
That's what Lou said too when we were playing Portugal. We were watching the game over at Will's. Lou comes up the stairs. He's like, "Oh, is our goalie Common? That's awesome."
No, Common played soccer.
Coming from what's the western he's on?
Hell on Wheels.
Hell on Wheels. Yeah.
You should know this. You watch
I
more of it
know.
than
I
any of us.
know.
And then I've been plugging through my rewatch of Breaking Bad, and it's so good. It's
Mm.
so good.
Yeah.
Oh, I watched Orphan Black.
Did you?
Yeah.
How is it? 'Cause I
You
haven't
know
watched
what?
it.
First
I like
episode or what?
No, I've watched. I just finished the second season,
Oh really?
or at least wherever I am up to date on the show,
Okay.
Really?
and it is not bad.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good.
I saw a really bad cut sequence from it, like just a clip of where she stabs one of her clones in the eye with a pencil or something like that. It was really
You
bad.
saw that on the Will Wheaton.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, so
did.
it's not. She shoots her in the eye with like an air compressor gun, like basically a potato gun, and with a pencil.
Yeah.
Okay.
They do random stuff like that, but they do random stuff like that on a lot of shows. This
Because
one,
I started watching that show.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
not
about
bad.
2 episodes in.
It's
before
not
I was
bad.
like, nope.
it's hokey TV.
Okay.
I am completely okay with it. It's one of those things where I can pick it up after missing 3 episodes and not care,
Okay.
but I enjoy it.
All right. Now I know exactly what kind of show that you're talking about.
I would feel the same way watching Sons of Anarchy.
I would not feel the same
Yeah.
way watching some. But that's just if it's a linear show like that, I can't pick it up.
This is a very linear show.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is I can't do that. Even
Right.
if some episodes are terrible, I have to slough through the terrible episodes.
And I need to
can't.
know all the reference points.
Right. You know, otherwise it just feels like
Feels like you're not even trying.
It feels like you're not even trying. And then I watched the second to last episode of 24. The last episode's going to be next week.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm done now.
It'll be over. It'll be over soon, Brick.
I mean, like
You got 24, brother.
Like
you got 24.
What's awesome is I looked at the episode was over and I looked at next week and I looked at the description that it has on my TV guide and it was like in this season finale and I was like, yeah, like, it's over. Fine. I only have to watch one more and then I can say that I did it. I don't know why I want to say that I did it, but
Brick, be thankful that it's not a 24 episode season anymore.
Oh, I'd be done. I would cut out at this point. I would have already, if I had to watch like 12 more episodes of this, I would have been done already.
Yeah.
There's no way. But the fact that it's one more is the only reason that I'm watching it.
Oh, sure.
Just to
I gotcha. I know. I completely understand. I do.
I watched *Halt and Catch Fire*, which is still really good. Very much like that.
That's the AMC computer in Texas show?
Yep.
Is it like Texas Instruments or something like that? Or
Cardiff Electric. It's a fake company, but one of the characters' wives works for Texas Instruments.
Okay.
So, and then I watched the first episode, but not the second episode yet, of The Leftovers. And it's really, really good. I like it a lot. And everyone should watch it now. It's good.
Okay.
Seriously. Do this. Geoff, I'm looking at you because you have my HBO Go.
All right.
Also watch True Blood. It's the last season.
That's also the only reason why either one of us are watching it.
It's because I can't just like stop when it's the final season. I can't. I've come this far. I can go a little bit further.
So bad.
It's really bad though.
It's so bad now that I don't even know if Anna Paquin is the worst thing about the show anymore.
No, she still is. But it's a close race. It's a close race.
Yeah.
LC died.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's it. When I saw that happen, I was like, oh no.
It was a really weak death.
It was really weak.
Shots fired from off screen, and he takes a few bullets.
Done. Yeah.
That's it.
That's how one of like the main characters dies.
He should. Yeah. He's. Say, Jordan, this character, basically, king of the werewolves, and he gets taken out in human form, standing around buck naked.
like they do in True Blood.
Well, because he had just transformed from being a werewolf, so he had no clothes, and some people fire some shots from off screen, take him out. He's the only one hit.
Yeah, he's the only one. He's the only one hit.
Hit
How
like
convenient.
3 times.
Hit like 3 times. One of them was in the dome, and he's done.
Yeah.
This is so stupid.
You guys watch the show. I'm just throwing that out there.
I know, but we have to vent to you.
We get it. It's like it's one of those things. Give your hero a good death.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the only morally redeemable characters on the show.
Yeah, I think he might be the only one. I think maybe Sam. Maybe Sam.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, Sam.
All right.
I'll go with that.
There's some freaking questionable things last season.
Well, yeah, but whatever. I can't even remember last season because that's how much I care about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then I finished my saga rewatch of Star Wars. I finished that this week. I think I started that like 2 weeks ago or something like that.
Yep, you did.
Hey, Jordan.
Because I mentioned it.
You've listened to the last couple of shows. Have I talked about Star Wars Turn to the Dark Side?
Yeah, you did. You mentioned it when he was watching the prequels. You were like, well, what I'm going to do is watch Turn to the Dark Side.
But I haven't discussed actually having watched it.
Not as far as I've heard.
Okay, cool.
And I just finished Return like 2 days ago, and I love those movies so much. And it's so good to watch the saga that way because it only gets better.
Right.
You don't have the same disappointment as you did watching it as they were coming out chronologically.
You know, I have a lot of hope for the new series.
I do too.
Not only because of J.J. Abrams getting them, but also because of what Kevin Smith said about visiting the set.
What did he say?
They're practical sets.
Mm-hmm.
They're not filming against green screen. They're in a set with actual.
They're doing it more like the original
trilogy.
Yeah.
And it makes me so happy.
And that's what I think I appreciate about J.J. Abrams is he saw that they went a direction, and it didn't go well.
It
Yeah.
failed.
Right. It didn't go well for them. I mean, we can look back on it and say, well, that was a terrible idea, and thanks, George Lucas. But, I mean, it was new technology. We had to try something.
Yeah.
No, the technology. I'm saying the look and feel of the movies, not the absolutely terrible writing. I'm not talking about the story. I'm talking about the look of the movies.
I didn't really have a huge problem with the look of the movies.
Right.
It was the writing and Hayden Christensen that I had a problem with.
Yeah.
Hello, Geoff. I'm in charge of security, my lady.
Oh, it hurts.
That line does not appear in Turn to the Dark Side.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Does Hayden Christensen appear?
Hold
in
on,
Turn
I'll
to the
talk
Dark
about
Side?
it on mine. Yes,
Or
it
do
does.
they- or do they- what I want them to do is just like blank out his face, his stupid face, throughout the whole thing, and then just like when he talks, it's just like, because that would be better. Just gibberish talk with a black out face would be better
Yeah.
than his actual stupid. God, I hate that guy.
Yeah. So you finished the
Yes.
Holy Trilogy,
Yes,
and
I did. And then I started watching, just casually rewatching Kevin Smith movies, like his better ones.
Right.
You know? And so I watched Clerks today. I love Clerks. So
Clerks
good.
is a very good original movie. He continues a lot of that humor in all of his other ones.
Mhm.
So yeah, I like Clerks.
Yeah.
I liked Clerks too.
And he is making Clerks 3 to round it out.
I liked Dogma.
My list that I have, the ones that I have bought that I have deemed good enough, are Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, Zack and Miri Make a Porno, and
I've never seen that.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
And Red State.
I like Red State, but Red State, I can't put Red State with the rest of his movies.
I can because he made them, but I get what you're saying because it's such so far removed from every other movie that he's done because it's so super serious and like really messed up, whereas all of his other movies are really lighthearted and funny. And...
Except for Chasing Amy. Chasing Amy's got to be one of the most depressing movies.
Oh yeah, it's dark too, but it's more of a comedy than Red State is.
God, yeah.
But Chasing Amy's my favorite.
Yeah.
Of all of his movies, I really like that. That is hands down my favorite of his movies. And then
Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is my favorite of all his movies.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I might have.
I got the most laughter out of that one.
That one, it's funny, but it's dick and fart jokes like the entire time.
Because it's Jay and Bob.
I know.
And that's all they
Yeah.
do.
Sorry, the villain's name is Cockknocker.
Yeah, it's played by Mark Hamill.
Yeah. You can't beat that.
He's got Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, and he's got George Carlin blowing guys to get across town. You know.
Hopefully across the country.
No, please,
Hopefully
across the country. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably have to go with either Chasing Amy or Clerks.
Yeah, those would be my two as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Dogma would be.
Maybe I would go Chasing Amy or Dogma.
Okay, so I've got to say this one thing. The speeches in Chasing Amy get a little long.
Like the monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But That's my only problem with the movie. I do really enjoy it, but that's why it's not my favorite.
Well, just like his only problem with Man of Steel is that fight scene got a little long.
It wasn't that the fight. Well, the fight scenes got a little bit long, and then they would talk for 5 minutes, and then there would be another really long fight scene.
You know, I understand all that, but I saw a clip the other day. No. It just reminded me of that. I saw a clip the other day of the death of Zod. That one scene. I'm like, that's still really intense.
It was.
And that's all it was. No context. It was just that scine where they go into, it was like Grand Central Station or something.
With the lasers for eyes.
Yeah, where it was like burning into the walls, and he was about to kill that family or whatever. But that scene's still really intense to me.
Yeah. Well, and that for me, that scene did everything that it needed to do to contrast Batman and Superman.
Yeah.
If that same thing was going on with Batman and the Joker, what would he have done?
Batman kills fools.
He would have. If
Superman does not kill people. That was a huge departure for that character.
Yeah.
Batman kills people.
At times, and he would have done the same thing. If it was down to I have to kill this guy or this family's gonna get killed, he would have done the same thing. He would have been like, I can't break my code.
But he would have broken his code.
He would have broken his code. And then I watched Clear History. I caught it on HBO. It's the second time that I've watched it, but it just reminded me of how absolutely hilarious that movie is.
And tell me what it is again.
It's this movie. Did either of you ever watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
Okay.
I saw a little bit of one episode, and I couldn't stand it. So.
Okay, well then you might not like it.
David. What?
Larry David.
Larry David. Yeah, I don't like him.
It's a movie. He's the main character in the movie, and he works for this electric car company, and this is supposed to be like the first electric car that's actually viable, that has a super long battery life and is affordable, and everyone is
and it's affordable,
right? And everyone's going to be able to buy one.
That company doesn't exist right now.
No, but like it's just for the sake of the movie, it does. And he gets called into a meeting, and John Hamm is his boss, and they decide they're going to call the car Howard, and he's the advertising guy for the company, and he decides to sell his shares back because he can't stand the name that he's chosen for the car. And obviously the company blows up. It's this huge thing. He loses out on all this money, and so he's publicly shamed, but he has this giant beard and long hair when he's working for the company. And so he loses his hair, he shaves the beard, and he moves to Martha's Vineyard. And when he's there, John Hamm is building this house when he's there, and so he's like trying to confront him and essentially trying to blow up the guy's house that he's building for not letting him have his job back so many years earlier and for ruining his life.
Right.
But it's got a huge cast, and it's really, really funny. If you don't like Curb Your Enthusiasm, though, you probably wouldn't like it, because I have described it as essentially a long episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really good, but that's it for me. Just that concise list.
Okay. As you know, I have considerably more time to watch television because I don't sleep. And so before I go to sleep and after I wake up, that's when I do my TV watching. Yeah. Nice.
Legit.
Nice. I like that. So I saw So You Think You Can Dance. I also watched Tyrant, and as we discussed, I've seen 3 episodes of it. I think that show is great. I really like it.
I'm not going to put it at great, but that was another thing, is that I stopped watching The Bridge. I got about 15 minutes into
It's better than The Bridge.
The first episode. I know, and I agree, but
Well, to me, it's better than The Bridge.
But I got about 15 minutes into the first episode of the second season. I finished the first season, and I enjoyed it. But it's just there's so much that I haven't watched Orange Is the New Black yet at all, and there's so much that I have to watch. I don't have time for mediocre shows, and so that's why I stopped watching Marvel as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I just couldn't take it anymore.
Well, yeah, it's not even a mediocre show. That show is
terrible
horrible.
Show, but The Bridge, it was just like, it's good-ish, but I can't do it anymore.
The only redeeming moment in the entire run of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is when they run the camera over Nick Fury's grave, and it has Ezekiel. What's the verse?
Was that no? But that was in Captain America.
It was in Captain America?
Yeah.
I thought it was in Marvel Agents.
No,
of
that's
S.H.I.E.L.D.
in Captain America.
Oh, see, it had zero
redeemable moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I could have sworn that was in the TV show.
And Winter Soldier was awesome.
Oh, Winter Soldier is great.
But
see?
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. sucks so hard. And I love Joss Whedon. Absolutely love Joss Whedon, but he has totally missed the mark on this show.
Yeah, it was almost as bad as Buffy.
So, Brick, what have you been reading?
Anyway.
I've been reading season 8 of Buffy.
Right.
I hate you, Geoff.
So Tyrant I thought was really good. It's got a good blend of politics and political intrigue and family drama and all that kind of stuff. I really like it because I was a big fan of things like Sleeper Cell and really lots of things that have to do with the Middle East. I think it's pretty interesting. Yeah, and it's not. They haven't assigned an actual country to it. It's like
it's just some country.
It's
Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern country.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I don't think they've even have a name for it or anything.
Right.
Like even a fake name.
It's very Iran. Actually, more Iraq than Iran.
It's more. Well, no, I would say it's more Iran, Syria.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm really enjoying that show. I also watched an episode of An Honorable Woman, which is slightly Middle Eastern. It's more like about the Israeli-Pakistani conflict.
Okay.
And it was too heavy for me. It was too much.
It's too heavy for you?
Yeah.
You have no soul, though.
Right. I was actually, whenever I was reading about it and I saw who was in it, because Maggie Gyllenhaal's in it.
Okay.
She's the main character. And it's got a really intense opening scene.
What channel is this?
I do not recall.
Okay. I might replace The Bridge with that.
Yeah, and maybe you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a little bit much for me right now. Also watched the most recent 24. The show is so bad. Watched the most recent Last Ship. That show is not as bad.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You can't.
You haven't seen it.
You have just.
You have not seen it.
It is Michael Bay. I don't need to see it.
You haven't seen it.
Brick, I like how you got quieter there.
Brick,
you
haven't seen it.
You were talking crap about Buffy, and you were
enjoying
I've seen Michael Bay.
I've seen Buffy.
Yeah, you've also seen Smallville.
Yeah, Buffy's terrible.
I'm gonna watch The Last Ship to spite you. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, go ahead.
God,
oh
God, I can't stand you.
I watched Almost Royal, which is a very strange show. It's kind of Borat-esque about British royalty way down the line of succession that are making a tour of America, and it seems like the other people in the thing are not in on the joke.
Yeah, I
it's
saw
pretty bad.
I saw a preview for that show. It looks like they're trying to reboot The Simple Life.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That was that show with Paris Hilton back 10 years ago or something like that.
Okay.
That's what it looked like to me, and so I was like,
yeah,
I'm okay with that. I don't need to watch that.
Yeah, and it's not great. Watch the most recent True Blood. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Tried a new show, Taxi Brooklyn. It's a fairly ridiculous premise.
Yeah,
Like this cop who loses her license, she's not allowed to drive anymore, and so she takes a cab everywhere. It's pretty bad.
It sounds like a premise that Seth MacFarlane would come up with for
Right.
a clip of a show that they're watching on Family Guy.
Right. But it's got Kyler Lee in it.
You know, Kyler Lee, that famous Kyler Lee.
No, she was in some teen movies. She's a really good-looking girl, but it's not enough. It's. I'm not saying it's a terrible show. I'm just saying
It's like Megan Fox.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
She's like Megan Fox. She's really good looking, but it's not enough.
Yeah, it's just the premise of the show is so dumb that I can't watch it.
Because that is
The show itself isn't that bad.
But the premise,
But I
that
can't-
is the dumbest premise for a show I think I've a show that's actually on TV right now.
Right.
And we're not in the 70s. You know, that's the dumbest premise for a show I think I've ever heard.
Yeah. And something I'd like to say is like some of this stuff that I'm talking about now is just stuff that I did not mention last week. Like,
Okay.
so some of it is this is really spread out over
Sure.
2 weeks.
Well, yeah, some of my, I mean, like, you know, my Star Wars rewatch was spread over the last couple of weeks.
I watched an episode of The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon.
Yes. The one with Neil, where he was Neil Young.
That was Kiefer Sutherland, right?
I don't know, because I only saw the clip.
Okay.
I've stopped. I just don't have the time for the show.
Yeah. Then I watched that new Halle Berry show, Extant. It's a sci-fi show
Yeah.
where she's up on the space station for 13 months. She comes back and she finds out she's pregnant.
How is it?
It's kind of like most sci-fi shows.
'Cause it sounds like Rosemary's Baby in space.
No, it's kind of like Moon and the one with Jodie Foster, whatever the
Contact?
Contact, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Moon and Contact. It's that kind of
Okay.
vibe.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's not great. I may or may not stick with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of *Halt and Catch Fire*,
Yay.
and that is probably the best new show that I've seen in a long time.
Really good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping you were just going to say it. That is probably
I was
the worst
prepared for
TV
that.
I have ever watched. I just
No,
wanted to see the
it's-
reaction. It's pretty good.
It's like Mad Men, but better.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's tech industry stuff, and I found it really, really enjoyable.
Interesting.
So it's about 6 episodes in right now. I've only seen the first one, but I really
You're
like
going
it.
to dedicate the time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm more excited about that show than probably any other TV show right now.
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
really.
So
I
thank you
would-
for that, Brick.
I would love to watch more TV, but at 1 or 2 hours a week,
Yeah.
and all of Game of Thrones season to watch.
You sleep. It's weird.
Yeah.
I do. I
It's
sleep.
strange, isn't it?
I sleep 8 or 9 hours a day.
Yeah, I sleep 3 to 4 less than that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's my TV watching.
You're absolutely right. There are plenty of things that I could stop doing in my life to watch TV, but none of them I'm really interested in stopping doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, sleeping is really the only one that I would exchange.
Yeah, and I
So-
I won't just because I'm active enough that
I just don't sleep. So
yeah, and I've
Yeah,
always
he's-
slept.
it's not that I'm giving it up.
He's just a freak of nature.
No, I know.
And can do things that we cannot do. Like
Mere mortals.
somehow eat ridiculous spicy things, and it
Oh,
never
yeah.
affects your digestive system.
You know what it is?
What's that?
I'm one of the watchers from Fringe.
You could be.
Just saying. And also watched The Leftovers.
Yeah. Oh no, you're not gonna like it, are you? You're gonna.
Okay,
have
here's the
things to
thing.
say.
Created in, I don't know how much is written, but created by David Lindelof of Lost fame.
Yeah. Well, no, he didn't write it completely.
Right. I'm just saying, created by.
Okay.
I'm 2 episodes in, and if that show does not start making some damn sense soon, I'm gonna be out.
What doesn't make sense?
Watch the 2nd episode. It just needs a
That's how many
direction. It just needs direction.
It'll get
There's
there.
You don't know that.
I do. I've spoken to Lindelof.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me say this. I've already put time into Flash Forward. I've already put time into Under the Dome.
Oh.
And I don't need another freaking sci-fi show that goes on forever and doesn't ever do anything. I don't need another one of those.
Why are you watching Under the Dome?
I don't watch it. That's the
Oh.
point. These are shows that I've cut short because they did the same thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
They're the same flavor.
Shows with the same flavor. Okay.
And that flavor does not taste good.
You know that flavor? That flavor.
Miracle Whip.
Flavor.
It's caca.
Flavor's intrigue. Is what that flavor
No,
is.
there's no intrigue.
It's like
Brick.
bits of intrigue
Brick.
over chocolate. It's Ben and Jerry's new flavor.
Brick. What show did you recently stop watching?
The Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you had the taste of intrigue in your mouth. That's why you stopped watching it.
No, this is not at all why I stopped watching it. I watched a whole season of The Bridge.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, the
Okay.
first season was pretty
So
decent.
now you're done. And
Yeah.
now Jeff's done with the other show.
Okay.
So,
Because of the taste of intrigue.
I went up and watched one of the movies at Red Rocks with a friend with Evangelina for her birthday.
Oh, nice.
It was Fast and Furious. Terrible movie.
The original, the first one?
The first one. It's pretty bad. The others are so bad that it makes you go back and think that the first one was better than the first one's bad also. First one is still pretty terrible. It's like, this isn't as good as the first one. That may or may not be true. Hard to tell because the first one's so bad.
No, it's probably it is very true. The first one is still that bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I also in wanting to watch the sequel, I went and watched the original The Purge. I did not realize that was a like House Under Siege movie. Had no idea.
Really?
Yeah, it's a House Under Siege movie.
Oh, I knew that.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
The Purge, which
It's where in the future to help people get their violence out, they have one night a year where basically the rules don't apply.
yeah, all laws.
So you
don't
can kill
apply.
people or whatever.
Yeah. Like personally, and see, here's the problem that I have with the premise of that movie, is that
It almost doesn't apply to the movie itself.
it's supposed to be like oh well, laws don't apply, so people are just gonna start killing each other. I would not. I would be stealing everything I could.
Well, still, and
Would you
either way.
be willing to kill somebody to steal something?
No. I would just looting, basic looting.
Yeah.
Would be what I would do.
People will kill you because you're looting,
True story.
Yeah, but
or
not-
because
I would break into unmanned stores.
Got
is what I'm saying.
I got it.
I would steal stuff from people who were not already guarding it.
And the other movie I watched was Machete Kills, and it
Oh.
is so completely ridiculous,
It is so ridiculous.
and I loved it.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
I loved it, but you know what you're getting into with a movie like that.
Oh,
You're not
yeah.
expecting it to be some masterwork of,
Right.
masterwork of art on film. It's
Jordan, you'll
No.
love this.
It's,
You'll love this part.
It's Danny Trejo killing people.
At one point, Danny Trejo cuts open this guy's stomach, pulls out his entrails, throws it up into a helicopter blade.
To take the helicopter down.
No. It pulls the guy up into the helicopter blades and chops him into little pieces. But it's
Oh my
okay
God.
because he's a clone, and there are plenty more of him.
Right. Well, and then there was the part that I think I mentioned when I watched it, which was where I might have been with you when I was talking about.
I like this one.
He sticks in the machete
Into the electrical
box and then conducts the electricity. Doesn't affect him at all, but it electrocutes the guy he's holding.
Right.
Totally makes sense. But God,
It's pretty awesome.
And they're making another one.
Yeah.
They're making Machete Kills in Space.
Right.
Yes.
There's a fake commercial for it at the beginning, which becomes a real commercial because by the end of the movie, it's set up
For him to go to
fulfill
space.
the promise of that fake commercial.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is awesome because the first Machete
was
a fake commercial for
Grindhouse.
Grindhouse.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Planet Terror and Death.
which became a real movie.
Uh-huh.
So, good for him. Seriously,
Yeah.
he's got a great portfolio of crappy movies, and good for him.
And Breaking
And
Bad.
Breaking Bad.
And Breaking
Tortuga,
Bad.
right?
Tortuga.
The turtle, and his head.
He takes
was
his
a turtle.
time.
Anyway, coming to Star Wars: Turn to the Dark Side, it's complete crap. However, it does get rid of a lot of the problems of the trilogy. And for
continuity.
those people who don't know, Turn to the Dark Side is a fan-made edit of the prequels.
Yeah. So, Phantom Menace,
Episodes
Attack
1,
of
2,
the
and 3.
Clones, and Revenge of the Sith.
Right. All put into one.
It's like an hour and a half. No, 2.5 hours.
It's somewhere around there.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours.
So they edited a lot of stuff out, and it's better, but not necessarily better because it still has terrible source material.
right. No, it does.
It's not like they could go back and film new scenes.
No, you're absolutely right.
So-
But the fact that it starts with the fight between Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and
Yeah,
Darth
Jake
Maul,
Lloyd is completely removed from the movie.
it starts with the awesome lightsaber fight at the end of Phantom Menace.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much the
really good.
Phantom Menace does not exist in this
Yeah.
movie or in this edit.
As it should
And-
exist in general.
There are some things that have to exist, like for, and this is one of the things I always had an issue with. They give.
Did you
this-
watch it?
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen it. Okay.
Yeah. So, but in A New Hope, they have like one little conversation. It's pretty close to the beginning. It's just before the "I find your lack of faith disturbing." It is that won't. It's Grand Moff Tarkin saying it won't be a problem. The Emperor just dissolved the Senate. Very small line.
Okay.
But they basically built 3 movies to explain that small line.
Yeah.
Because they building up to what the Senate's all about, how it acts, how it works, and then get rid of it.
Done.
Yeah. Because everything else doesn't make sense. That is the only thing that makes sense. Luke and Leia being,
Brother and sister.
brother and sister, okay, I get that. But nothing else makes sense. Oh, the Jedi and your hokey religions. It was like 15 years ago.
Yeah,
You were
dude.
alive when the Jedi were
Exactly.
policing the universe. Yeah, so there's
Not
a lot.
enough time had passed for it
to be a hokey religion.
Exactly,
In
like-
ancient times.
Vader should have been their grandfather.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
That would have been at least a little bit more understandable. Yeah, so the only thing
Yeah.
that makes sense is, like, as far as continuity, is the dissolving of the Senate. That's it. And it's just
Was-
one line.
Was Grievous ever on screen?
I can't remember.
General
Grievous?
He was referred to, I know for sure, but I don't remember if he was ever on screen.
No, during the not the Phantom edit, the Turn to the Dark Side.
Turn to the Dark Side.
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't watched it. No, that question was directed
It's worth
at me, Brady.
Now, since you've freshly watched them, you should watch this movie.
Okay.
Because you'll end up having like the best perspective on it because it's like the source material is fresh to you.
Well, yeah, and I liked out of the 3 prequels, Revenge of the Sith is the best one. I mean, that's not saying a lot, but it's the best one. Out of the prequels.
There's some really bad parts to that movie, but
overall
they got to where
decent.
they were. Yeah, they were trying to bring everything
ironed
together.
Out the kinks, and there were a lot of kinks to
Yeah.
iron out, so they didn't quite get all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Revenge of the Sith, and I thought that again. But as I was watching Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones for probably the 3rd time or something like that, I
think that's how many times I've seen them too.
I just was sitting there and just, oh god, these are really terrible.
They are. They're bad movies.
And that's what I'm saying about Turn to the Dark Side. It's also bad.
Well, yeah, because
But you'll at least not wasted 7 hours of your time. Well, I mean, we all have.
You can't put seasoning on crab and call it steak.
Right. It's that kind of thing. But it's a nice Cliff Notes version of the prequel.
Well, yeah.
So if somebody hasn't seen the original trilogy,
that's
it's like
what to
you
watch.
need to watch this.
Do not watch.
Yeah.
Because it'll give you what you need to know out of these.
Yeah.
Without the, oh my god, I want to slam my head against the desk terribleness.
Yes.
That's really awesome, though, that it cuts out like 90% of Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah.
And starts with the only good part that happened in that movie.
Yeah. It's worth a watch. It's still not great. But that is it for me. That was a lot, but that's it for me for what I've been watching this week and week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it was.
Right.
Let's burn through some what you playing.
Did I tell you? Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
Okay. I've been playing Skyrim. I finished, for the
Good for
first
you.
time ever, I've finished the Mage College quest line.
Oh, nice.
And
that's actually a cool story.
It is. The only reason I did that is because I needed to do that to get into Labyrinthian to finish the 9 Dragon Mask quests. I have all the Dragon Masks.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Which you do not get an achievement for.
No,
by the
you
way.
don't get an achievement. It's not even an actual quest, and it is really, really cool to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have that self-satisfaction.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
get
that of all of the things that I've ever wanted to do in Skyrim, that's the one I've wanted to do the most, and I've never done it. And then I was just sitting there hanging out, and girlfriend sitting on the couch. And I'm like, well, I did that. Nobody seems to be clapping or excited for me, so I'm just gonna go ahead.
Because we weren't there.
No, I know. I was just like, all right. Well, I really wanted to take a picture of the screen and send it to you guys, and I'm just like, this game's been out for a while.
The splash screen that has the stand for the mask, that needs to be a real thing in the game. It should have been part of Hearthfire.
What do you mean? Oh, you
Like,
want
so you
to
can
get that stand?
Display them in your home.
Right. No, I totally agree. As I was thinking, I'm like, I need to find a bust or something where I can have these things lined up.
Yeah.
Because they have like little armor holders.
Sure.
Like you can hang armor. That's why I saved all of the Blade's armor.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the game. It's cool. I just got my smithing skill up to 70, which means I can make glass armor, and I'm like, oh, sweet. I'm gonna start making glass armor. And I honestly played for like maybe half an hour yesterday, maybe, and it was all housekeeping. It was all like emptying out the chest, going and selling things, going and making things. I'm just like, well, I just did my chores in Skyrim. Now I got to go do my chores in real life.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking about playing it the other day, and I was like, well, what do I want to get done? And I was like, oh, well, I'd just be gathering resources for my house in Hearthfire. I'm like,
why don't I just gather resources for my real house in Colorado?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's what I was talking to Lou about it one of the last times we were playing D&D, and he was like, I turned the game on and like looked out at the world, and I'm like, nope. Turn it right back up. Like, it's too big. Like there
It's
are
too
times
big.
where it's just like I don't know what else to do. And at this point, I have done everything. I don't have the expansions, but I've done everything. Like I think I've gotten most of the achievements now, and I'm just like, what do I do? Do I go back through the Thieves Guild? Do I go back through the Brotherhood?
No, really, the the joy of those games, and it's the Elder Scrolls game, and it's also Fallout. Just gotta ride across the land, kicking up sand, and get into adventures.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just take off going, and you'll fight some stuff, and you'll find some stuff.
Yeah.
And you'll yeah.
I
And
think
that's really all you can do.
I think my next mission is to do all of the Daedric quests because I've never done all of them.
Oh, that's a good one too. I mean, that'll take you some time
Mm-hmm.
because some of them are fairly involved.
Yeah, and some of them are pretty quick. Like, was it the House of Horrors is pretty quick, and you get Malak Ball's mace, and that's a really awesome weapon that takes up half your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one. Because basically all you have to do is go and find the priest and get him to come with you.
Yeah. That's it.
And go back to the house.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
No more in then.
Brick, what have you been listening or playing? Whatever we're at now.
Mario Kart 8, FIFA,
Getting it done.
and Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Really?
Nice.
Yeah.
Not Knights of the Old Republic, but the Old Republic, the MMO.
Yeah, I started a new character.
Okay. I keep getting emails
Is that
from them.
free yet?
Yeah.
It is, but I'm paying for it. There's benefits to pay for it. And
Sure.
I hate myself for doing it, but I'm doing it. So.
Yeah. I don't have a device that will play any MMOs well. No, none of them anymore.
Yeah.
So I just I just don't have any interest in them right now.
Yeah, I tried to sign into Lotro the other day and run around, and I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. Either I want to be playing games with my friends, or I just want to be playing something like Skyrim.
Yeah.
Or I'm just hanging out.
Yeah.
I can stop it at any moment and never worry about it.
Yeah, that's what I like about the Old Republic too. Is I can go and do a mission, and then I'm done for today.
I'm out.
But that's it.
Yeah, and the Old Republic was so buggy when I was playing it.
It's really smooth now.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. What else have you been playing, Brick?
That's it.
Cool. Just Hefe Jeffy?
I played a couple of lightning round scenarios on Civrev, and it was pretty awesome. I lost as the Russians because the Russians suck.
Mm-hmm.
That Civ, I don't know why it's so
true to life
underpowered next to the rest. Because even
the French.
Even the French. Yeah, the Russians, like, starting ability, you get to see more of the map. Worthless.
Mm-hmm.
Second ability, you get +1 food from planes, but planes aren't the green ones, planes are the yellow ones.
Yep.
So you go from 1 to 2. If they had said, like, you get an extra grass or extra food per
green,
like, food-bearing square, totally different.
Yeah.
And because then your cities would grow a lot faster. And that's what they needed to have done to make that Civ a little bit more viable.
Right.
But then I played as the Chinese and dominated.
The Chinese and the Americans are the two power civs without question.
My favorite one are the Aztecs.
My favorite are the French.
Yeah.
I love having a cathedral. I get.
I love my units healing.
Yeah. And I get culture bonuses like crazy at the beginning of the game. Starting the game with a cathedral is huge.
The French and the Americans are about the same in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar. They get. And the Romans. They get lots of great people.
Yep.
So it was fun. I enjoyed playing it again. It's been a little bit since I played it. I tried to play Gotham City Imposters or whatever, but it needed some updates, and so I just switched over to Civ.
Yeah.
Because they were not just updating the game, but you had to download 3 different compatibility packs, and I didn't feel like doing that. They're downloaded now, so I may play it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. So it was going on in the background while I was playing Civrev, and so those packs are downloaded. I may check it out now. Because I saw it at. It wasn't an E3, so it must have been a PAX. I saw it and it was decent. So.
Nice. All right. We got anything else, gentlemen?
No.
Nah.
I think
All
that's about a show.
That's about a show. It's a long show.
Was it?
I feel like we went for like
Seemed
an hour
like-
and a half.
We did.
Well, we didn't start at 7 though.
Yeah, but it's 8:40
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went over an hour.
ish.
All right.
Ish. I hope it's still recording it. I can't tell.
It is.
Okay.
It just moved.
Yeah.
There it is. All right.
So-
Awesome. Well,
All right.
it's been a good show, guys.
Thank you everyone for watching and listening. You guys good?
Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.